Today, we're going to create an agent that allows you to chat with any one of my videos. OpenAI's custom GPTs just came out, and that's their version of agents. And it's pretty awesome, but it's also limited in a lot of ways. So today, I'm going to be talking about a service called MindStudio by YouAI. And it allows you to do a lot of the same stuff, but also so much more. And so that's what we're going to be using today. And they're also the sponsor of today's video. So let me show you how to use it. Let's go. So this is UAI, uai.ai. It is free to get started to create your own AIs, which is what they call agents. And of course, they have some premium features as well that you can pay for, but it is free to use. And one thing that is especially cool is you can actually earn money with these agents that you create. So after creating them, if you want to publish them either on their marketplace or on your own website or anywhere else, you can charge money for them and you can actually earn income from the agents you create. So once you sign up, I'm going to go ahead and click on my AIs, and I already have some here, but we're going to create a new one. And again, the AI that we're going to create today is an AI that allows you to chat with one of my videos. And of course, you can use any video you want. And so you'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to get a summary. You'll even be able to get it to list out the specific commands that are listed in my video. So you don't actually have to write them down or visit the gist that I include in the description. You can just ask it to output the specific instructions that I use in my terminal. From here, what we're going to do is click this new AI button, and we're going to start from scratch with a blank template. But they also have a bunch of templates already. So if you want to do role play, they have this AI character. If you want to do content generation, they have this here. You can also do RAG and talk to PDF really easily with this one right here. They have dataset analyzers. So just like code interpreter, they have support agents that you can create. But again, we're just going to create a blank template. And this is the interface. It is super easy to use. And so right here, we're on the prompt tab, and this is where we're going to enter all the information that we want the agent to know about itself and how to behave. So I'll create a couple new lines and I'll start entering information. And you don't need to format this in any specific way. It's actually really flexible. So as long as you format it in some kind of consistent manner, it should be fine. So I'm going to create a new section called assistant. And here is where I'm going to describe how the assistant should behave. So I'll start with, you are an assistant that is an instance of one of Matthew Berman's YouTube videos. The video is called Fully Local Chat with Docs. And this is basically just the title of my video. And this video is about private GPT. And then I only wanted to respond in the first person as me, respond in the first person as Matthew Berman. So assistant's role is to help the human by answering questions, explore the transcript of the video, and apply learnings. Next, I want to give it some information about how I want it to respond, the specific formatting. So here I pre-wrote some of these, so let me read them off. So first, the assistant only uses text from the video transcript below to answer the human's question. Assistant's responses must include and cite relevant text. Assistant should not use knowledge from outside of the transcript. And this is really important because obviously it has a bunch of knowledge in the model itself that it might actually try to reference, but I only wanted to answer with the knowledge from the transcript. And if the answer cannot be found, just say, I don't know. And the assistant's responses must match the tone and style of the transcript. And then last, I'm going to put a little bit of information about myself to give it the right tone and character. So about Matthew Berman. Matthew makes videos about all kinds of AI use cases. Oh, forgot an S there. He is friendly and informative. Matthew speaks in a casual yet intelligent tone. So I think that's enough information for now. And before I move on, I want to touch on a bunch of different features that this has. So up in the top left, you can see right here, we have something called data sources. So if I click on data sources, this is essentially RAG. This is where you're going to upload any external knowledge that you want the model to have. And you can explicitly reference those data sources through automations, through knowledge, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Then you also have function calling. So we're not going to be using this today, but in a future video about UAI, I may go into more depth about function calling, which is one of the most complex topics involving agents. Then you have variables here, and variables are just information that the model can pull directly. Right here, we have all the errors and warnings, so it gives us really easy debugging. As you can see, we have a terminal on the right side, and so you can play around in the terminal and you'll get all the warnings here. And then we have our debugger. And then one thing I actually skipped over is this prompt. And these are just personalized prompts that you can insert information into and just have them dynamically ready, kind of like prompt templates. So, and then up here in the middle, all of these tabs are the main tabs that we're going to be looking at. But first, what we want to do is grab the transcript. So I'm on my private GPT 2.0 video. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to click on the description, and then I'm going to click this show transcript button right there. Here we have the transcript. So I'm just going to highlight all of it, copy. I'm going to switch back to UAI, and I'm going to create a new data source. And again, this is going to be RAG. So click the data source button. We're going to create a new data source. I'm going to name it video transcription. I don't need a description. So I just opened up my text editor and I created a new document and pasted all the transcript. I'm going to click save. I'm going to save it in downloads, and I'm actually going to make it a TXT document. Switching back to here, and I just uploaded the transcript.txt, and now you can see it's creating embeddings, it's finalizing, and now we have a RAG available version of the transcript. So it says right here, we have 13,824 vectors. Very cool. Now, if we click right here, we can actually see the document. We can see the extracted text. We can see the raw chunks. So here we go. We have all the different chunks of the embedding. We can see the raw vector. So it gives us a bunch of really cool information. And we also have a query tester right here. Now that we have our new data source, let's switch back to the home button. We're going to go to automations, and now we need to create a new automation. And what the automation does is it allows you to create different workflows based on your large language model. So you can give it knowledge, you can have it ask additional questions, you can expand prompts, you can do so many different things with this. It's really easy. The first thing we're going to do is just click this enable button right here. Now you can see it's enabled. So we're going to add a little node by clicking the plus button, and we're going to say collect input, and we're going to give the variable a name. So this is basically saving what the response is going to be. So let's say original query. Okay. And we can drag and drop. It's really easy, very nice, clean interface. And so the next thing we're going to do after collecting the input is we actually want to expand the input and potentially get more keywords to use for the vector search. So we click this little plus again, and we're going to select send message. And over here on the right, I pasted this in, expand on, and whenever you use these double curly braces, you can actually reference a variable from anywhere else. So right here we have original query. And remember, this original query comes from this collect input. So we assigned the collect input to original query. Now we're at send message, and we're going to say expand on original query and come up with 3 queries that we might want to use when searching through a vector database. And then as the action, let's click this drop down, and we're going to assign this new response to a variable. And we're going to call this refined query. All right, so far we have collected the prompt, then we've refined it to get more versions of the prompts that we want to use to actually query the vector database. Now let's actually query the database. So we're going to click this plus button. We're going to say query data. We want the data source to be the video transcription, so it already pre-selected that. We're going to assign it to query results as the variable. And then for the query template, all we're going to do is input the refined query here. Okay, so now let's move these out of the way, and we're going to add one more. So again, what have we done so far? We've collected the prompt, we've expanded the prompt, now we've queried the data. So the last thing we need to do is actually present it back to the user in a comprehensive way. So we're going to select send message, and I have this pre-written already. So we're going to say, and this is the final prompt back to the LLM, using the query results, so what we found from here, as your context, respond to the following question. This is the original query. Then with additional instructions, responses must include and cite relevant text from the contexts provided. Assistants should not use knowledge from outside the context provided. And if the context does not include the answer to the question, say, I don't know. And then as the response behavior, we're just going to display it to the user. And now we're done. We have this really nice automation. And we don't need to save, it saves automatically. All right. Next, let's add some message rules right here. So we're going to click the little tab, message rules. The system introduction, how can I help you? That's totally fine. And we're going to pre-process a data source, the video transcription. We're going to increase the max results to 10 because we want a bunch of different results from the query. And then we're going to leave the message template the same. So we're providing additional context as the query result, and then we're displaying the message, the original message. And then everything else can stay the same. Now let's go over to model settings. So the underlying model that we're going to be using is Claude V2, but we have a bunch of different options here. Now, GPT-4 is a premium model, which means you do have to be on the paid plan, but we have Palm 2 and we have Claude V2 and GPT 3.5 Instruct, which are all free. Now, for the temperature, it's pretty high right now, so I'm going to lower it to 0.5. And then for the max response size, I'm going to say 4,000. That sounds about right. And then we can leave these other settings as is. So under the metadata, let's give this a name. We're going to say private GPT 2.0 chatter, and we're we're going to say chat with Matthew Berman's private GPT 2.0 video. And we can search for it here. We'll say AI private GPT. So this will just help other people find it if we publish it. We can also give it an icon if we want, but I'm just going to leave it as is. We can have a very simple landing page. So again, all of this is meant to be published, and you could potentially earn money if you find people who find your AIs super valuable. Now for sharing, we're going to make the visibility public. We're going to allow remixing, which basically means other people could edit the underlying settings to make it work. Now, if we just wanted to provide the AI and not let anybody see what we've done under the hood, we just tick this off. And then we can also password protect it right there. All right, so that should be good. Let's give it a try. Let's say, what is this video about? And there it is. This video is about installing and using Private GPT, an open source alternative to ChatGPT that allows you to chat with your own documents and data locally. And here are the key points, and this looks absolutely perfect. So let's give it a more challenging question. What are the specific commands to get Private GPT installed? And there it is. And it's formatted too. So it's not formatted in this window because this is a terminal window, but because of these ticks, we can actually have it format the code. And so we can see that here. And I'll show you that in a second, but this looks perfect. So it actually took the exact commands from the transcript, and now it outputs it in a really nice way. Now, if we click this little open button right here and we say preview draft, it's going to give us a preview of what it's actually going to look like when it's live. So here we go. Let's click open. Okay, so let's give it a question now. What are the specific commands to install Private GPT? And there are the commands. And then if we click the little three dots in the top right corner, we can view analytics about this. So it tells us how many people are using it, how many interactions, and a bunch of other really cool data for this. Obviously, it's empty because I haven't used it yet. We can also remix it from right here. We can favorite it and we can share it. Now, YouAI is super flexible. The way I built it, we have one transcript as a data source, and we're basically just chatting with one video. However, another way I could do this is upload all of my video transcripts and allow a single AI to act on behalf of any of my videos. So you can basically have an AI representation of my videos, which would be amazing. And even another way to do it might be to create function calls, which are right here, and allow it to actually just go scrape a YouTube video based on a URL that I provided. So not actually uploading the transcript, but letting the user say, hey, let me chat with this video. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can play around with in here. So definitely check out YouAI. I'll drop a link in the description below. It is free to use. They have a premium plan as well. You get a bunch of different features for the free plan, and you could potentially earn money with this, which is awesome. If you liked this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.